Welcome back to the Wise Mindset Guy podcast. I'm your host, Nat Palestino, and I thank you once again for tuning into my show. As you probably listen to this episode today, it is in July and it's the start of summer, and so all I can say is it's a great time of year. Always summer is always an amazing time of year. Please go out and enjoy safely and just enjoy yourselves. Summertime is one of the best times of year to enjoy yourself. So let me explain about about this podcast. And this podcast, at first, I say, but the first time I ever learned what a podcast was, or even heard of the word, was about 10 years ago. I say 10. My podcasts have been around a little longer than that. I don't have the exact numbers, but they've been around, I think, over 10 years. And then the first time I heard about it was about 2014. This is time when I was working night shift, and then of course, when you're working night shift, it's kind of boring, and I asked my wife, I'm very bored. Is there anything I can do to pass the time while I'm working, right? And she said, well, why don't you start listening to some podcasts? And I said, well, I don't know what a podcast was. And she said, well, it's kind of like radio on the internet, I'd say. Well, okay. But I looked into it and it really wasn't for me, so I never got into it. So the time, I to get into podcasting in general was it just came out of nowhere. I mean, like I started blogging, and then the blogging was working in a certain way, and I liked it, and then so I thought maybe people really would like to hear me speak instead. So I decided, hey, why not start a podcast and see where it goes. Now, in today's episode, I just want to get into one thing I was been bothering me. I'd say bothering me, but I'd say it's something that people think about sometimes, and it's like the idea is not to let other people's negative energy get in your way or to ruin your day. Now, I say nothing can really ruin your day. I'd say nobody else can ruin your day. If you give them permission to, then they can ruin your day, of course. So when it comes to negative energy, and some people don't believe in positive and negative energy, but negative energy is out there. It is, some people just are negative and they don't have any control over it, and so they just are spewing this energy across the universe and sometimes it gets into our paths. It can be in a way, even just sometimes people like running, bumping into you, right? On the subway or crossing the street, or they could, one particular example is being cut off in traffic. And then you allow that person's negativity to get a hold of you. The first thing you do is you start getting mad, and then you start talking about it later with a friend or a colleague, and you start saying, what happened to me today? Oh, this person cut me off in traffic. I'm so upset. So the first thing is we don't talk about it, right? Best thing to do is to not talk about it at all, like to just let it go immediately. Now, I know it's difficult to do. It's easier said than done, as they always say, but really it comes down to not allowing someone else to be in control of you. You are fully in control of your mind. You are in full control of your emotions. And it's easy to blame other people for ruining your day. So all I can really say is don't allow other people to ruin your day. You're in full control, and it's just a matter of always having that positive flow, always having that smile on your face. It's really, really important. And I can't stress this enough when it comes to anything you do in life, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationships with people, with your significant other. It's all about your positive energy. If we can do that on a regular basis, we can rule ourselves. We can definitely rule the world. Like in terms of ourselves, we can finally get to the heart of ourselves and to be fully in one with who we need to be. That's all I have to say today. As it is summer, and I want to go enjoy myself, so I am just throwing a little small short podcast for today. So I would love that you guys listen to it today. If you enjoy this episode, please feel free to share this with a friend or family member in need. And of course, if you love the episode, please hit subscribe. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. This is Nat Plastino signing off. Bye for now.